And we're back. And it's the afternoon. Good afternoon. And welcome to Algebra Trace. Okay? Goldie is making me sweat, so I have to take him off every once in a while because he traps the heat. So I remind you that, oops, we can erase this line now too, that your test is a week from today. Okay? A week from today is your test. Okay? And that will cover all of the topics in section 2, or unit 2. This is the last of the topics of unit 2. We're going to do this today and Monday. We're not going to tomorrow. Only one of the 3 classes meets tomorrow, and it's actually the smallest of the 3 classes. Tomorrow is the one that does meet. So we're not going to. If you have class tomorrow, we're going to be counting holes in the ceiling tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to take us a while. Yeah. And then we'll pick back up on this on Monday. And then Tuesday, debating if you're going to have a formative or not on Tuesday. Part of me wants to have one. Part of me doesn't want to have one. I just don't know. Okay? But then Wednesday we'll review. And Thursday we will test. Okay? So, hopefully you grabbed a piece of pink graph paper for those of you paying attention on the interwebs. If you scroll back out and up, there's a PDF of graph paper for you to print off and have for you. Okay? So, we're going to be graphing linear and absolute value inequalities today and Monday. Today we're going to do the linear part. Monday we'll do the absolute value part of the inequalities, and then we'll go forward from there. Okay? So, let's go. So, graphing a linear inequality is 2 steps. Okay? But the second step has a kicker to it. Okay? So, the first step to graphing a linear inequality is you are going to think about it as if it were an equality. Okay? So you're going to want to get it in y equals mx plus b form. And graph it from there. Or graph it how you've been graphing stuff before. You could do intercept forms if you wanted. You could do a t-chart if you wanted. But we're first going to think about it as if it were an equality. Okay? The kicker is this next part. Okay? And this next part is before we go and draw it on our graph, we have to answer one extremely important question. And that question is we are going to draw it in either a solid line or a dashed line. And that is going to depend back on our original inequality. If we are drawing a solid line, then we should see either less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. Those are the solid line inequalities. A dashed line would come from just the less than or greater than ones. Okay? And that, I am not going to lie to you. You may be saying to yourself, oh, that is just so easy. And you're going to just draw your line in solid. And then you're going to say, oh man, it was supposed to be dashed. And then you're going to have to go back and you're going to have to figure out how you're going to erase it and all this fun stuff. Okay? So, pay special attention to that as to how you are drawing your lines. Okay? Then, the second step is, and this is the extra part to graphing now, is we are going to shade one of the sides of the line, or when we get to absolute values next week, either inside the V or outside the V. We're going to do some shading. So if we want to bring some color into it, we could bring some color into it. If we wanted to make some cool, funky designs in it, we can make some cool, funky drawings in it. Okay? And how we go about doing shading the appropriate side is we use test points. Okay? And I will show you different styles of test points as we go through. Okay? A test point is simply just that. It's a point that you put back into the original inequality and you test the truthiness of that inequality. Okay? So let's start with test points. Just get ourselves back warmed up with that. Okay? So checking solutions, test points. Okay? Tell whether the given ordered pairs are solutions of the inequality. Well, what you do is you take this test point, and remember it's got an x part and a y part, and you plug that back in to your original inequality. So this would be like 0 is less than or equal to 2 times 0 plus 4. And then you simply do that math. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 4 is 4. So then you look at the inequality 0 is less than or equal to 4. Is that a true statement or a false statement? That's a true statement. 4 is bigger than 0. Okay? So since this is true, this 0, 0 is a solution. Then you go to the next point. Now we're going to say, this is my new x, this is my new y, and I'm going to look at that particular point. So I'm going to say that 10 is less than or equal to 2 times negative 2 plus 4. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Plus 4 is 0. And then I look at the inequality. 10 is less than or equal to 0. Is that true or false? That's false. So this is not a solution. Okay? What I'd like you to do now is I would like you to do the exact same thing on number 2. Tell me if those two are a solution or not. I get that the origin is a solution. Anybody back me up on that one?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, good. I get then that 2 times negative 2 minus 2 is less than 3.
Negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6 is less than 3. I get that's true. So I get that they're both solutions. Agree with me on that?
Yes.
Sweet! Love it. All right, let's get into it. Here we go. So we want to graph this one. Okay. First off, what I'm thinking is, I am thinking of this like y equals negative 1/2 x minus 3. I think about it as an equality. Okay, with me?
Yes.
Love it. Okay. Now, is my line in the end going to be solid or dashed?
Solid.
Solid, because I have the equality part. Okay, so how would I go about graphing negative 1/2 x minus 3? Talk to me, Jake.
On the y-axis, go down 3,
Boom, boom, boom.
and then from there go down 1 over 2 to the right.
Okay, thank you for adding to the right. I was about to ask you in which direction is your over. What if I wanted to go up and to the left?
You have to go up 1, 2.
Yeah, so that would work. Right, love it. Then we can draw in our line, and we're going to put our line in, and it's going to be a nice solid line running all the way across our graph. Oh, it's so pretty. Agree? Love it. Okay. Now comes the time of the test point. I call it the TP. I got to pick any point for my test point. I don't care where it is, as long as it meets one condition. And does anybody know what that one condition is? Where test points can't be located? They can't be on the line, correct. Okay? So it can be anywhere off of the line. Okay? Hold on 1 second. Okay, so now that selfies are done. So what's the easiest test point to choose? The origin, yes. 0, 0 is the easiest one to choose. So when in doubt, choose that one. Okay? Now, if your line goes through the origin, though, you can't choose that one and then pick something else. Like it might go through probably 1, 0 or 0, 1 would be the next two easiest ones. Okay? So now I go back to my original inequality where it's 0 is greater than or equal to negative 1/2 times 0 minus 3. Negative 1/2 times 0 is 0, minus 3 is negative 3. Is 0 greater than or equal to negative 3?
Yeah.
Yes, that is a true statement. Okay? So my test point was there. That's where my test point was. So because it's true, we're going to shade on the side of the truth. Okay? We're always going to be on the side of the truth. So we're going to shade on the side of the... Whoa, what happened there? I don't want that. Come back down here.
Do we always have to apply a test point?
Yes. Done. Come back down. Now, where's my funkiness? Oh, it's this one. There it is. I want Creative Pen. And I want, let's go crazy. Oh, I told you we get a little crazy here. You can get a little color, you can get a little funness, you know. I mean, I'm not going to stop you. I am not going to stifle your creativity. And then, if you want, you can put in a... Put in a little smiley face of smiley faces. What's wrong?
I can't see the 0, 0.
That's okay. It's part of. It's in the. You know it's in there. You know what I mean? All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to graph those two. Try those two. Okay. So again, we're thinking of this as 2x minus 3y equals 12. And I'm going to go with a solid line. So then I would say that this would be negative 3y equals negative 2x plus 12. Y equals positive 2/3 x minus 4. So I'm going to go down 4 from the origin. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right about there. And then from that point, I'm going to go up 2 and to the right 3, up 2 and to the right 3, up 2 and to the right 3. Likewise, down 2 and left 3. And I should probably scroll down a little bit more. And 2 and 3 and 2 and 3. Okay? All right. So that's a solid line. Bang. Okay. Did not go through the origin. So I'm going to use that as my test point. The question I had answered before is which equation do you go back to? And I always go back to the original equation. So if I use the origin, the x, anything with an x goes away. Anything with a y goes away. So that leaves me with 0 minus 0, which is 0. And is 0 less than or equal to 12? That is a true statement. So with that being a true statement, then my test point was here. So then I would shade on that side of the line. Yes?
Yes.
Awesome. Love it. So then this, I'm thinking, whoa, tap the brakes. Not thinking that. I'm thinking 3x plus y equals negative 4, but this time it's going to be a dashed line. And so then that's going to be y equals negative 3x minus 4. So again, I go down 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm right there. But now my slope is negative 3. So I'm going to go down 3, right 1, down 3, right 1, up 3, left 1. And so on and so forth. Now I've got a dashed line. Did I go through the origin? Didn't go through the origin, so we're good to go there. So my test point is going to be the origin again. And if I plug that in, I get 0 is greater than -4, and that is also a true statement. Man, I was hoping for a false statement this time. What happens if it is a false statement?
Shade the opposite side.
Shade the opposite side. Yeah, exactly. Now soon we will watch a guy from the Math by Fives, and he'll say flower, and then he'll draw a flower. That guy.
At least we're not watching Party City.
I love Party
Hey,
City.
she makes statistics count.
Dude, she's awesome.
I hear about it all the time in softball practice.
Party Savetti. Nikki,
You missed the
make
spot.
statistics count.
You missed the spot.
Did I miss a spot?
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah.
Up top.
Well, I went around my work up there, man. Come on, man. All right. Ooh, I got it. Yeah.
I gotta take a picture.
Yeah. Okay. So, was I in the way of it all? Because that's good. Okay. You will need one piece of the white graph paper up here because you have 5 graphs. So you'll need some of that. And then there's other ones too that can be done on the other portions of that piece of paper too. So yeah, this one's due on Monday.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yes.